Hello, this is Dr. Mercola, and I want to welcome you to another question and answer video update. Today's question comes from a Ginger Maynard in Sulphur Springs, Texas, and she writes in, first of all, to express her appreciation for having me help save her daughter's life from asthma. And after following the advice on this site, she is now much improved and is off, more importantly, all her medication. And isn't that the goal of many of us with chronic disease, to have our symptoms improve with simple, inexpensive lifestyle choices so that we don't have to take potentially dangerous and toxic medications to address that? But Ginger goes on to write, how can I get my 4 children to eat what I know they need? Everywhere they go, school, grandma's, they get junk food, and she is perceived as the bad guy. Well, it's an excellent question, Ginger, and I thought I'd give you some key principles to follow. First of all, it's really important to recognize that you want to look at your food training of your children as a marathon. This is not a sprint. If you start to do some food Nazi dictocratic type of recommendations, this will be absolutely counterproductive. You will in the short term be able to change your diet, but this will absolutely sabotage it for the long term, and that is really the goal of training your children, is to help them learn exactly what they're designed to eat so that they can choose foods that will keep them healthy for the rest of their lives. But if you take a rigid approach, you run the risk of having them rebel on you once they get out of your supervision, and then choose all this junk food that's just going to really accelerate their journey and path towards chronic degenerative illness. So some of the other things that you can do is serve as a role model. You want to eat the foods that you want to actually show and demonstrate by your choices that it is possible to eat healthy. So the last thing you want to do is dictate something healthy food to them, and then you make choices which are unhealthy. So that's kind of obvious, but I just wanted to emphasize that. And there's another really key principle, is that if you or your children are having cravings, if they crave sugar all the time, if they crave juice or bread and toast, then, or sweet sugar cereals, then there's a really good possibility, Ginger, that your children are just simply not eating the food that they were designed to eat. You see, I believe that all of us were designed through our specific biochemistry and genetics to have a certain type of food, and that food is not necessarily the same for all of us. So some of us are designed to eat lots of protein and fat, while others are designed to eat more of a vegetarian type of diet, and of course some are in the middle. And if your children, if you're giving them healthy, great food that follows the general principles, but it's not designed for their specific genetic type and biochemistry, then you're going to have some problems. So and I really firmly believe that metabolic typing is the key. So for your 4 children and for yourself, what I'm going to do is send you a link to give you 5 metabolic typing tests, and as a way that you can help your children understand what foods that they were designed to eat, and that will go a long way towards helping you identify this. So because it's really important to know if your children are having cravings, it's really to be considered a clue that they aren't eating the right foods. So after having done this metabolic typing, you'll see that there's a really good possibility that your 4 children, you'll have 3 different metabolic types, and you may challenge you a bit because you'll need to create 3 different types of food choices for your children, or at least focus on different priorities for them. So this will help you, and I think go a really long way, and it will help all of us. So if you don't know about metabolic typing, then I would certainly encourage you to take our free mini course that we have, and there's a link for that below this video. So hopefully this helps, and the full answer to this, of course, would require hours and hours of explanation, but hopefully these simple principles will give you some guidance that will help you really serve as a model and a real inspiration to your children, so that they can achieve the high levels of health that they are capable of through their diet.